Hi, Krista. Hi, Deja. Hi, Tarzetta. Okay. Hey, Kathy. I'm gonna try for a glam look tonight without glitter. And we're gonna start with this purple. Hey, Selmy. Nope, I'm gonna start with orange. I think I'm gonna put an eyeshadow primer on tonight. And this is so my colors can stay and be a little brighter. And this is the white one by NYX, really affordable. Kathy, where you been? We're using some NYX tonight. And this doesn't have to be really neat because this is going to be used for your colors all over your eye. Okay. I'm going to use this orange um, as a transitioning color. There we go. And this is a color called Oktoberfest. It's really warm. It's by Coastal Scents. And it's going to help blend my purple in with my skin. And just go to the other side and do the same thing. Hey, ladies. Okay. Got our transition color in. And that's blended. Now I'm going to go in with this purple. And what I'm going to do first is kind of just cut my crease, which is right here. And ladies, if you have a hooded eye, you can go a little bit above your crease. Which this is not picking up so good for me. So I'm going to start with the black. And this is kind of going to be my dividing line to give me some depth. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I have big eyes. Most women don't have eyes this big, so this will help you give you the appearance that your eyes are a little larger than what they are. So now we've got that color in. I'm going to go in and blend it out just a little bit. Okay. And I'm using a small crease brush. Okay, Kathy. So now you're in business. When I ordered mine, the shipping wasn't very long. I think it took less than a week to get here. Okay. Now we've got the black in. So I'm going to take a different brush and go in and start to place our purples. And you just want to put the purple right on top of that black to lighten up that black. And I'm going to stay with my wing. Stephanie, when you going to look fancy? Okay, Selmy. This brush that I'm using now is a blending brush. And the tip of it is kind of fluffy, and that's what blends it out. There are two types. This is another blending brush. You see how fluffy it is? And that's what makes the eyeshadow blend. Kyla's purple your favorite color? Hey, Miss Sharon. Okay. Now, I've got the purple set on top of the black. It makes that black not look so harsh. And we're just going to go back to the other side and blend that black out. And if you're just beginning and learning how to blend your eyeshadow out, I suggest, I'm going to start on this side just so you can see. Just start with a little bit and brush. Go back and forth. It's called the windshield wiper. And brush until it looks kind of flawless. It should look like it kind of just melted onto your skin. And then we'll go back to the other side and finish that out. Remember, right now, what we're trying to do is make that black in the crease not so harsh. And ladies, to be honest, all you need when doing your eyeshadow is a good blending brush and a good eyeshadow brush. Um, the eyeshadow brush, these are the difference. The eyeshadow brush is flat so that you can just apply your eyeshadow in a motion like this, and that's to apply. The blending brush is to blend everything out. Once you learn how to use a blending brush, you can apply your eyeshadow and it goes just effortlessly. I'm going to go in with a little more purple on this side because the black is still a little harsh. Once you've gotten the eyeshadow the way that you want it, make sure it's completely blended. I'm going to go in with another brush that doesn't have any product on it and blend a little bit more around the outer edge up here. And the reason I'm doing this is because I kind of went a little bit over my transition color. So I wanted to clean that up a little bit. And I'm going to go back in with this orangey color that I have as my transition color and apply some more. And we're going to do this to both sides. It's important that you use a transition color. For one, you don't want your makeup to look just like you threw a big wad of color on top of it. The transition color does exactly what it says. It transitions your makeup and your skin together. Hi, Dr. Crodel. If you don't know what color to use for a transition color, another color that you can use is just take your face powder. It's almost exactly the color of your skin. Sometimes you can get it the color and just use that. And you can't tell the difference. It'll transition good for you. So now, since I'm going to do a small cut crease, I'm going to go back in with some concealer that's a lighter color than me, just so I can be a little bit bright under the eyes before I apply my next color. And again, the color that you use, you can use white. I'm going to go with a light brown though. It's strictly up to you. And you're only going to put this on your mobile lid. It doesn't hurt if you go over some of the color that you already have, because you're going to go back and blend it out anyway. As a beginner, you're going to make a lot of mistakes doing this. But that's the good thing about it. You can always go back over your eye. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, we've got that there. And now I'm going to take this blending brush that I have, the same one that I put the transition color on with, and I'm just going to take a little bit. Thanks, Deja. Give the babies a hug for me. And just set this. And you don't have to use a yellow color, but you want to use something that's close to this color. If you have a translucent powder, that will work really good. I got you, Gabby. And the reason you're setting this, I use concealer. Concealer needs to be set whether it's under your eyes, on your face, on your eyes. Because if you don't, it'll start to crack. And it'll make your eyes or your face, if you're using on your foundation, it'll make you start to have little cracks in your skin. And you don't want that. So now I'm going to go back with this purple and blend out just a little more. And I'm going back in with the same brush that I used to begin with. And I'm just cleaning up a little bit. Okay. So my next color is going to be my gold. Tell me if you're still watching. This is the flat brush that I had. I'm going to go in with it now to apply my gold. And it just goes on in a tapping motion. No glitter for this one. I'm just going to use this kind of shimmery, I think it's a metallic eyeshadow. And all you have to do is pat it on. Thank you, ladies. I actually have two golds here that I'm using. I'm going with a little darker in the middle. And you can simply stop after you've gotten it to the color of your choice. Now I'm going to go back in with my blending brush, and I'm going to go back in with a little bit more purple because I'm going to blend and I don't want too much fallout. So and if you can see, when you start to blend, you lose color. So you have to reapply. And I like my colors to be a little intense. So I'm kind of going heavy. I've got my two colors that I'm going to use. If you were wanting to use another color, now would be the time to take it and apply it right here. Let's see. This purple is not popping for me. I think I'm going to try a different purple and see if this works. It's actually darker. The gold is from, this is just a beauty supply store, Nika K, and I used these two colors here, were these two. And the purple is from my Violet Voss, and this is the Drench Metal. Turn it upside down. And this purple right here is the one that I used, and it's called Dark Desires. Okay, now I'm going to go in to my brow bone, and let's see what colors we want to use. I don't think I want to use a shimmery color. I think I'm just going to use a taupe color. And for your highlight color, ladies, you can use any color. A lot of people use white. I don't like white because it makes you look kind of washed out, especially when you have darker colors. So I always use like an off-white or a cream color. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my eyeliner. And this is my NYC liquid liner. You can do it. I depend on what kind of look that I'm going for. If I was going to use, say, this gold eyeshadow, it's a metallic or a foil. If you wet it, it'll make it pop. I don't suggest it if you're using just a matte color like the purple, because it actually doesn't do much, but it dries on your face quicker. If you have a really good eyeshadow with some pigment, you don't need to do anything to it. But, let's see. Let me show you what the effect of it would be on this gold if I wet my brush. This is just some MAC Prep and Prime. You could use water. Can you see the difference? It's not a whole bunch of a difference because this is already a foiled. But there is some of a difference. The one thing I don't like about wetting brushes is if you're going to use this brush again, you're going to have a hard time. That's how the difference is. And I'm going to go back and clean that up in the front. Okay, I've cleaned it up. Oh, I'm sorry I came on so late. I was having problems today. I think I'm going to change my time to about 7:30. Okay, let me go ahead and put the liner on. And this is for my top. Okay, I've had a lot of people to ask me why I put the tape here. And the reason for me putting the tape on here tonight is because I'm being lazy and I don't want to work with my cat eye. So if you put tape here, even if you go across it, it's still going to give you a perfect straight cat eye. And also, it adds drama. I suggest the tape. I've been doing this for a long time, Karen. But for anybody who does not know how to do a cat eye, this is the perfect way because it's pretty much foolproof. You can't mess it up at the end because even if you go out like I did, that when you take off the tape, it'll be straight. Kathy, I don't think you can mess it up. And then for my bottom eyeliner, I'm going to use my other NYX. Okay, now for my top lashes. Okay, now we're going to pull this tape off. And there you go. Ah. So, if you happen to make a mistake, Kathy, you can go back and take your brush that you did your eyebrows with and just go back with a little bit of concealer and clean it up just like that. And kind of just pat it in if you made a mistake. And you still have that sharpness. Now it's time to color correct. And I'm going to go in as usual with my orange concealer. to all my problem areas. And take my sponge and just kind of work it in. Once you use the tape, Kathy, it'll your hands just to kind of, it seems like they'll just go anywhere. And the tape will catch everything. Karen, I use orange because if you ever look on the color wheel has your primary colors and then your secondary colors. Well, your primary colors are on one side of the wheel, the secondary colors are on the opposite side. And if you look at orange, orange and black are directly across from each other. So that means if you have black spots on your face, you use an orange color, it'll kind of balance it out. So what I'm doing now is balancing out my skin so that when I put on my foundation, you won't be able to see the black. It's the same thing if you have red marks. You can use a green, and that will balance that out. If you're of African American descent or you dark complected, orange works really well. If you're lighter complected, I will use a peach color. So that's why when I put my foundation on, you can't see the black or either the hyperpigmentation right here on my face. Now, all you see now is orange, and I promise you guys, it's not this orange in person. We're going to go in with our foundation now. Black Opal foundation. It is full coverage. I probably could use this foundation without a color corrector and you wouldn't be able to see anything. But I prefer using a color corrector just to make sure. With this cream foundation, you can use your fingers. You can use a sponge. My preference is a brush. So, Karen, can you see that my hyperpigmentation is gone around my mouth? And the black circles around my eyes have just about disappeared. And now I've got that worked in good. We're going to go back in with that same color highlight concealer up under my eyes. That was the purpose of it. It corrected my color. And you can do this with any type of scar or hyperpigmentation. It works well for acne scars. If you have acne scars and they've left the dark marks, this orange is really good. And color correcting is not anything new. I learned it when I went to cosmetology school. It was something that we had to learn because they didn't give us a whole lot of foundations and stuff to work with. They gave us probably 5 colors and told us to work with them. So we had to learn how to blend and cover up scars and everything. Let's see. Now I'm setting my highlight. Um, this is Sacha Buttercup with a little bit of Ben Nye neutral set. A lot of people like to bake. I don't like to bake because I feel like it makes your skin too bright. And when you take pictures, you get a lot of flashback. So I only leave my powder on long enough to finish my contour. Now I'm going to use my e.l.f. contour in Turks and Caicos. And as you guys can see, I really like this because it's almost time for me to open up another one. This color is really versatile. You can use it on just about any skin color. If you feel like it's too dark for you, the next one that's the next lightest one is called St. Lucia. And these run about $6 at Walmart, or you can buy them online at elf.com. I believe Target sells them as well. And I'm going to take my next brush and just blend that out. And I always blend out towards my hairline because it makes it look more natural. And you want to make sure you don't go too dark. I always stress, don't go too dark on your contour because your face will look dirty. And if you go too light on your highlight, you'll look real ashy. Okay. I'm just using a smaller brush to blend out around my nose. I actually do not. Sigma brushes are really awesome, but I found some brushes on eBay, and they're by a company called Jessup, and my Sigma brushes cost me over $100. My Jessup brushes cost me about $15. I've been having them probably for 4 years or 5 years, and they still running just as good as my Sigma brushes. And I wash my brushes a lot because I mix all my brushes in when I do makeup. So I wash at least twice a week on all my brushes. On the weekends, if I do a makeup party, I'm doing a whole lot of washing. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to get some good brushes. I will tell you that there's a company called Morphe Brushes. They also sell makeup. They have some of the best brushes and they're reasonable. They also have a monthly brush club. I think it's $19.95 per month, and they'll send you $30 worth of brushes. Sometimes you get some of their limited item brushes. I've not ordered them simply because my family, my husband, my kids, they usually buy me makeup and brushes and stuff like that or if I can catch them on sale, I do it that way. But the Jessed Up brushes are really good. Let me see. Okay, these are my brushes. This is the Jessed Up brush that I paid like $15 for the whole set, and I believe it was 10. This is my Sigma brush. They're almost identical, and this brush was $30 by itself. I do get a pro discount because I am licensed. So when I do buy my Sigma brushes, that's the only time I buy them. But if you look at them, they're almost identical. My Jessed Up brushes are a little bit bigger, but they're holding up good. And yes, it's kind of like Ipsy, but they only do brushes. So we got our face powder. It's already set. So now I'm going to go in with my setting powder. Hey, Shell. And again, when you set your face powder, what you're doing is locking your makeup in place. If you ever wondered why when you hug somebody, your makeup comes off on them, it's because you didn't set your makeup. And if you don't want to wipe your makeup off when you're setting it, you notice I'm kind of just patting it in. I would pat it in versus brushing. Because you're brushing the makeup off and you've already worked hard to put it on. Right here, I feel like I'm a little bit too light. So I'm just going to brush a little bit. Just to tone that down. Because I'm not trying to set that. I've already set it. Rochelle Denise. And I know that's backwards. I think I'm going to change my date for you. What day is best for you? Let's see. Now, you guys, I'm ready for my blush. And this is by a company called, what is this place called? Juvia's Place. And these are some of the pretty colors that they have. This is the first time I'm using this palette. So let's see how it works. Ooh, this is a pretty color. It's called Yara. It's like a terracotta. And you ladies that don't know where to place your blush, if you'll smile and start on the highest part of your cheekbone and just kind of work your way up. Kathy, I used the e.l.f. And this one is in Turks and Caicos for my contour. Ladies, after I put my blush on, I always go back in with the same brush that I used to set my foundation with and kind of blend with it. Now, we're going to use a highlight. This one is by City Colors, and it's called the Highlight Trio. This is like my everyday go-to because I like the mix of the three colors. I feel like it's not too light for me, and it gives like a natural glow on my skin color. Again, you can always correct what you've done. If you feel like you're shining too much, just simply go in with that powder brush and just kind of work it out a little bit. Okay. I've already got my face makeup on. And now I'm going to go for my lips. And I'm going to do a kind of a natural color. This is a brown. It's called Chestnut by MAC. So now I'm going to go in with this color called Hug Me. And it's a nude color. And now I'm going to do my bottom lashes. Okay, ladies. This is my 30-minute look for you. Any questions? So I'm going to go back and recap what I used as far as brushes on my face. I started off with the sponge up under my eyes. No glitter, Rochelle. No, not today. I'm going to find a real pretty glitter look for you. I started off under my eyes with my sponge. Right up under here when I did my color correcting. The next brush that I used on my face is when I put my foundation on. And I use this foundation brush. Doesn't have a particular name. It's just a foundation brush. Next, for my powder to set with, I just used a flat top kabuki. Just to go in. And myself, my preference, I like a dense brush because it's kind of hard. To do my contour, I use the contour brush. You don't have to use this brush. I just find that it works really easy for me because this is what it was made to do. With my blush, this is actually not a blush brush. This is a contour brush as well, but I like it for my blush. This is actually a blush brush. You can use these brushes for whatever you like. They have names, but again, makeup is art, so you can use what you want. This is called a buffer brush, and I used it here just to blend out my contour of my nose. Those are all the brushes that I used on my face. For my eyes, I started with this flat angle brush for my eyebrows. This is a eyeshadow brush, and that was to apply the gold eyeshadow. This is a blending brush. That's dirty. But this is the brush that I use to apply the purple eyeshadow. This is a pencil brush or a crease brush, and this is the brush that I use to go right in my crease right here when I started with the black. This is a fluffy blending brush. And this is the brush that I use just to blend out right here. Again, ladies, you don't have to use this many brushes. I just got a problem with mixing my colors, so I use lots of brushes. And I think it's because I do makeup on other people, and you tend not to want to use the same brushes when you're doing them on somebody else. But when you're doing them on yourself, or your funds are limited and you can't go out and spend hundreds of dollars on brushes, 2 or 3 brushes for your eyes, 2 or 3 brushes for your face work perfectly. Actually, your fingers work the best on your foundation. I just don't like stuff on my fingers. That's just a pet peeve of mine. These sponges work miracles. If you don't have like the foundation brush, you can use this for your foundation, and you can use it for your highlights up under your eyes. I know a lot of people that put everything pertaining to their face on with the sponge, and then have a blending brush for the eyes, and that's it. Karen, you asked about some brushes. These e.l.f. brushes run $1. And I've been using these for a long time. I have tons of them because I do so much makeup that I need lots of brushes. And if I'm like out of town somewhere and I forgot a certain brush, I can always run to Walmart and get a brush or two like this for $1. Let's see. What did I use? Shelby, on my lips, the liner is Chestnut by MAC, and the lipstick is Hug Me by MAC. Anything else, ladies? Well, as usual, I enjoyed you, ladies, and thank you for watching. Please like and share. We're trying to get some shares here. Feel free to hit me up if you have any questions after I get off of here. Walmart is the place, girl. People sit on Walmart because too many people on YouTube are sponsoring these makeup companies. And you don't have to spend tons of money to look good. Believe me. Most of the makeup that I have for myself is not high-end. I do have a lot of high-end makeup because I do makeup. And people expect that if they're paying me, they want to see some high-end makeup. But not everything that I use is high-end. So you can really win. I do makeup classes and I do makeup seminars. In my seminars, I have lists, tons of companies that you can get good quality makeup for a little bit of price. I also tell you how to get it cheap. So if you ladies want to have a makeup party, just let me know. I will be letting you know for my next makeup seminar. It's going to be, I'm trying to get it before Christmas or before New Year's, so you ladies can learn how to get your face done for the new year. All right, love you guys and good night.